Let me ask you something. Have you ever reached a point in your life and thought, if only I had known this sooner? Many people tell me that turning 65 was that moment for them. It's a milestone, yes, but it's also a mirror. A time when you look back, often with tenderness, sometimes with regret, and you realize what truly matters. Today, I want to share with you the lessons I hear most often in my work. Think of this as a heart-to-heart conversation from someone who's walked alongside many people at this stage of life. Point 1. Your health is your true wealth. I can't tell you how many times patients have looked at me and said, "Doctor, I wish I had taken better care of myself sooner." One man, let's call him Richard, spent his whole career building financial security. When retirement came, his savings were there, but his health wasn't. Travel was no longer possible, not because of money, but because his body couldn't keep up. Then there's Margaret. In her 50s, she made small but steady choices. Daily walks, balanced meals, regular checkups. Now in her late 70s, she's still vibrant, still active, still engaged in life. The truth is, your bank account might give you comfort, but it's your health that gives you freedom. Point 2. Relationships matter more than things. Over the years, I've learned that people rarely regret what they didn't buy, but they often regret the connections they didn't nurture. Susan, for example, spent decades focused on her career. She climbed the ladder, but missed countless family gatherings. At 65, she confided that her deepest sorrow wasn't about missed opportunities at work. It was about missed moments at home. Loneliness, especially in later life, can quietly harm us more than we realize. Studies even show it can affect health as much as smoking. But the good news is connection is always possible. Call that friend. Reconnect with your children. Share a meal with a neighbor. It's never too late. Point 3, time speeds up, so spend it wisely. One of the most common feelings after 65 is surprise at how quickly the years seem to pass. I remember Carol telling me, "I'll do it when I retire." Painting, traveling, learning to dance. It all stayed on her list. When she finally started at 70, she loved it, but she also wished she hadn't waited. Time is a gift, but it isn't endless. If something is on your heart, start now. Don't wait for the perfect moment. Perfect rarely comes. Point 4. Money buys comfort, not happiness. Financial stability is important. We all know that. But what surprises many is how little happiness extra money brings once the basics are covered. John and Linda, a couple I once counseled, lived modestly but joyfully. Their wealth wasn't measured in dollars. It was measured in laughter-filled dinners, in friendships, in community. And yet, I've also spoken to people with far more money than they could ever spend, who felt isolated, anxious, and unfulfilled. So yes, plan your finances. But never forget, what feeds the soul cannot be bought. Point 5. Purpose keeps you young. Many people struggle with this after retirement. Who am I without my job? The truth is, work gave structure, identity, and meaning. When it's gone, the emptiness can feel overwhelming. But it doesn't have to stay that way. Purpose doesn't need to be grand. It can be mentoring a young person, volunteering at a local center, or even tending a garden. I think of George, a retired teacher. He began tutoring neighborhood kids, not for money, but for joy. He once told me, "It gave me more happiness than any paycheck ever did." Point 6. Letting go brings peace. By the time we reach 65, most of us carry a heavy bag of regrets, disappointments, maybe even grudges. But here's something powerful. You don't have to keep carrying it. Elaine shared her story with me. Decades of resentment toward her sister. At 70, she made the choice to forgive, not because her sister asked, but because she wanted peace. She said it felt like setting down a heavy stone she'd been carrying all her life. Letting go isn't about forgetting. It's about freeing yourself to live more lightly, more fully, in the time you have left. Point 7. Gratitude changes everything. And finally, gratitude. Not just the occasional thank you, but a daily practice of noticing what's good. Each sunrise, each meal, each laugh with a grandchild, these are treasures, if we let ourselves see them. Research tells us gratitude improves health, reduces stress, even helps us sleep better. But more than that, it transforms ordinary days into blessings. Closing reflection. So, these are the lessons I hear most often when people look back after 65. Health is wealth. Relationships are everything. Time is precious. Money can't buy meaning. Purpose keeps us alive inside. Letting go sets us free, and gratitude makes life shine. Now, let me turn the question back to you. Which of these lessons speaks to you most deeply? And what wisdom would you share with someone approaching 65? I'd love for you to write it in the comments. Your story might help someone else. And if this conversation touched your heart, please subscribe, and share it with someone you care about. Because life after 65 isn't about endings. It's about living with wisdom and maybe living lighter than ever before.